Welcome back to the B Shine.
Yes,
we have a very special episode today. As you can see, we got the artwork in the background.
No Birds art.
Yeah, so, this is a very special episode. I was really excited to come out and do this. One of the things that I tell people when they ask me about the B Shine and my experiences and stories and things like that is one of the things that I truly appreciate the most is certain people that I've met along the journey. Some people I just do interviews with and we keep it moving. Some people I stay in contact with and other people I build relationships with. And right here next to me is a man that I have built, a rapport with, a friendship with, and I'm really excited to, do this interview / podcast because not only is he an incredible musician, but he's also a super talented artist, super creative person, down-to-earth person, and, just a great guy to know. So I want to introduce everybody to King Kirk from the group Sporty Thievz.
Love. Yeah, as usual, my man, B.
Yeah, man.
Rest in peace, Marlon.
Yeah, all right.
Rest in peace, Marlon Brando. Hip-hop salute, Big Dude, Sporty Thievz.
Big Dudes, King Kirk.
Appreciate you, B.
Marlon Brando from Sporty Thievz. Yeah, of course, man. So we met around like 2013 and we did an interview, but it was kind of a brief one when I was just doing surface level, like inspiration, what inspires you type of interviews. Mm-hmm. This one, I want to go a little bit deeper into some of your past and the theme behind the whole Pigeons thing, because that's really what you became known for the No Pigeons song, and then the album that followed, Street Cinema, where you had a lot of songs in a similar tone. When I heard it, I'm from the suburbs. I didn't know that was like kind of like the theme of the group where you talked a lot about it. I thought it might have been a one-off, but then I later, when talking to you, found out that you've always been kind of talking about like pigeons and girls, birds and girls that want, certain things from guys. So, it's more relevant now than ever, like 20 years later. So we want to kind of get into that. But let's go a little bit into your upbringing in Yonkers. You were born and raised in Yonkers?
Yes, sir.
What was...
Well, I was, I was actually born in Jamaica. I came in when I was young, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
But YO is, like that's since what, 3, 4 and on, I was, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know nothing but YO. You know what I'm saying?
How would you describe what your childhood was like growing up in Yonkers?
YO was a special place. Is a special place because Yonkers is this lost borough. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they always call it, the lost town, the lost, with this cloud that we had. But, my stories in Yonkers is like probably any other story. You know what I'm saying? We all just out in the hood, just trying to move. It's like a whole bunch of different islands in one place. You got Cottage over here. You got Moffat Gardens up the block. You got School Street on the other side. You got Slow Bomb on the other side. You got the Ravine. It's just so many different small hoods in one place. It's just this unique vibe. And I think that's what gives us that thing that we have. It's like a maze.
What was your experience with women as early as you can remember? Just dating, hanging out, going out with girls?
In YO or just in general?
Just in general. I'm kind of leading up towards kind of where you got the mentality to make the records that you made.
I think that came from... I gotta be honest with you. It was if I go back to my mental Rolodex, I would say if you remember Bismarck, the Vapors, that could kind of tell a story of what was going on. Where it's like, the average young girl at the time, not all of them, obviously, but the ones we was aiming at. Me specifically, I like her, da-da-da-da-da. I like her style, I like her dress code, I like her. But when you approach that situation, she might be looking at you like, okay, what you working with? As a young girl, like, what you bringing to the table? And most of us, 89%, was just starting from scratch. We was young cats with just nothing.
So that's just your first experience with women is like, what you got for me?
That's kind of because you kind of told, I think my turning point, let's just, I guess, go to origin. My uncle, and it's a crazy story, my uncle one day when I was playing video games, I was into video games crazy when I was young.
Me too.
And I was like, ice climbing Nintendo type of ish, you know what I'm saying? And
ooh, that was a good one.
I remember my uncle coming in there going, yo, I'm tired of these video games, man. Yo, wait, you don't like pussy? Uncle, I'm young, you know what I'm saying? I can't remember the exact age. I don't want to say I was 12 or nothing, but I was young. Like I was in, I might have been, my eyes was open, but I was just, it's like, yo, what's going on with you? And I'm like, Uncle, what's going on with that? Like, why are you coming at me like that? Pulled out a book, opened it up.
Yeah.
This is pussy. Uncle, like, you got me, you know what I'm saying? He said, listen, this is what life is about. And then this. Pulled out some bread. Pussy and bread. Mm. Bread come first, obviously. But fuck them video games. I'm gonna leave you with this book and this tape. I think he had a tape too. Was I in his house? I probably was in his crib or whatever. Yeah, I was in his crib because he always had the music, the old school hip hop, the boombox. When I come back, this is your pursuit. This is where I want to see you're on. So he left me in with the book, and I want to say the magazine. Fuck it, open the book. I was scared. You gonna fuck my uncle was a scrapper. He was a fighter. What he tell you is real. He used to always come in with war scars, telling us, yo, he don't want us to be soft, teaching us how to use the hands, working out. So I respected him. All right, this is what Uncle was saying. So I'm looking at the book. I'm like, all right, this is appealing. I'm like, yeah, Doopy, that's channel 37 back in the days. I think it was on the little cable box. So I kind of, you know what I'm saying? I was in that space of peeking while my peoples had the little channels and all that. So I'm like, all right, I'm interested, but I didn't, Boom, he came back in. All right, make sure, or else, I might have to smack you up. Fuck these video games. So that was kind of all right, let me step out because I don't want to get caught up in this world of not going this route and getting lost and not knowing how to get women, to get girls. So I got, Uncle, thank you. Boom. That was my pursuit. So now, let's skip to going to school. I like her. Hi, I like you. Ah, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? What was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
So I didn't have that female figure, I would believe, who maybe could guide me through that phase.
And your uncle wasn't telling you how to talk to them or anything like that. He was just saying,
this is what it's all about.
Yeah, you just need to get with them.
Yeah, because I want to make sure you're not getting caught up in these video games and getting lost what was reality, which is, why would you tell a young kid that's straight reality? But I get it though, because he just wanted to make sure I wouldn't get jammed up because he was in the street. So he knew how girls was moving. So it's like, yo, I'm gonna teach my little nephew how to be prepared for these women because it's a little war out here in a sense. But he didn't teach me the game. So as I went out there with the so-called game, can I take this off, B?
Yeah.
I know you're
all good.
So me going out on the street now and trying to pursue it, I realized I was getting a lot of denial because of the way I was moving. A lot of laughs, a lot of, at the time I was skinny. I was a fucking toothpick. You know what I'm saying? So I started realizing that it wasn't as just what I thought.
Yeah, and I always thought that kids need to be taught how to behave, or not so much behave, but act in like social settings. And I always thought that could be like something that they teach in school if it's, if the parents aren't going to do it, because you just kind of like, go to school and make friends, or, go to this dance and like dance with people and make friends and go to your prom. And it's like, you just kind of learn through that trial and error where you like you're saying, you're getting laughed at, or, you get some wins or some losses, and you just kind of like figure it out. And that's definitely part of it, but like there's no guidance for most people. So you just kind of like, what the hell am I doing out here?
And then when you go to the women in your family who will give you something, they go, you're a nice guy, just be nice. You know, respect the women and be nice. So you go out there.
Which is what you were doing.
Which was being nice. So you're like, but I tried. And they're like, well, you're a good guy and women like nice guys. Not really knowing they're older now. They just talking that shit because they're older and they want to be respected, but they probably went for the bad guys too. So they don't know how to tell you to do that side. But you was young, all right, she said be nice. Now I'm getting shit on even more. And then you start realizing like what's happening. So then you start to come up with like a balance of, all right, I got to get more aggressive. Then you start looking at who is getting the chicks.
Yeah, now you're trying new thing, trying a different approach.
Yeah, so then you kind of go into, all right, again, back to the Biz song. Oh, he was doing this. But before he was doing this, you heard the Big Daddy Kane part. Oh, now he got the chains and the suits. Oh, Big Daddy. Oh, so they like, how do I get to that place? So now you start taking a walk and really stepping back. Again, me start stepping back. Now I'm looking at my uncle for what he is. Like, oh, uncle's kind of sized up. He got the chains on. He getting a little hustle on. Okay. How do I get to that? Because we ain't getting no bread. There's no money in my people's. Everything is light. So now you just start opening your eyes. You got your little crew. Yo, how we start looking that way? Yo, we got to get our money up. And then you just start realizing who's doing what. And now you want to emulate that. And then when you start to, just to be a little short-winded, you start taking these small little moves, penitentiary chances, taking these chances that could get you jammed up. Stupid. But then you get the eyes. Hey, Kirk. Because now you're risking your freedom to just step your money game up for some bullshit.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now you fit the part. You look the part now. You know what I'm saying? Let's skip all of the whole little day jobs and all that. You can't really look like that with that. We just skipping the points. I went through different phases, but let's say just go straight to the point. You start looking like you're getting a little street money because he's doing it. One of your friends who's in the game who understands it, he's doing it. Hold on. And then next thing you know, now you start getting the waves and the high. That's when you start getting introduced to the gold diggers and start seeing the difference. Okay, she's a good girl. She's doing it for this. And then you start to put a balance up. Then you start to get that, this is how it works. Get a little cold. Then you start hearing, yeah, you didn't know that? Also, the nice guy's the cornball. And they'll tell you that too. Oh yeah, we don't like nice guys. We like.
There's a community online called the Red Pill community. And what it means is it's a Matrix reference where the red pill is the pill for the truth. And what it's about is, it's about understanding that what we've been taught and raised to believe, how we should treat women and what they want and how we should interact is not reality. And it's kind of this fairy tale that like, oh, you're nice to a woman, you court her, you do nice things, you do what she wants, you happy wife, happy life kind of thing. But the type of guy that is going to provide for her and keep her secure is not the same type of guy oftentimes that excites her, that she desires. So that's why you have a high divorce rate because, women are comfortable, but they're bored.
Right.
And they want that excitement. So you're kind of seeing that, you're learning that,
at that point,
where you're like, everyone's saying be nice. We're raised to think that this is the way, but then you're seeing it right away where you're nice and then you get shitted on. And now you're trying to do these, now you're making money and focusing on your success, and now the girls are coming.
Right. Kind of flips. It's just a strange thing. And females will tell you it's something that the nice guy just doesn't have. You know what I mean? It's something about the good girls like bad guy concept. And when you really flip on the mature side, you just go, damn. When a man comes to and you able to go out there and get who you want, or, at least, more than lose, strike out, you start realizing you might be even chasing that. You're chasing kind of like the girl with the you know what I'm saying?
Exciting.
The exciting, not the too cool, good girl. And you realize we just kind of like that. It's like that bitter and sweet. That's where the energy came from. And with that energy, it just kind of produced, all right, cheapskate. You ain't getting nada, because we learned how to, and this was back then. I learned how to watch those dudes that spend money. I learned how to do it without spending money, because I started to understand how to, not master the concept, but just how to conversate with chicks and kind of give them that good, sweet, and at the same time, Kirk, I like you for who you are, da-da-da-da, and they'll tell me the secrets, and it's like, damn, why y'all living like that? And you see the good and the bad. Some of the bads tell you straight up, this is what I do. And I knew a lot of them. Nigga, fuck these niggas. Mm-hmm. Kirk, you cool, I'm gonna tell you how we do. Don't trust these bitches. And they be like telling you about what they do.
What would you say to yourself at that age again, where you were getting denied, how to avoid those mistakes again? Because there's a lot of people out there that are currently making those mistakes.
It's so different now when I talk to young people, because the game obviously changed, but the money thing is still there. I would personally never flash the money. You got a lot of people, because they might not have the verbal skills, you want to put that money. Like, it was a thing that I learned from a few dudes, which was a stupid thing, but I did it a few times. You get 100 singles. Mm-hmm. This was just a tactic back then. You put the 20s and maybe 100 on top. And you just, when you go somewhere, chicks is around, and it's just a fake little knot. Mm. You just opening the door, she wants some of that. If she's a gold digger, okay, you just showed her something. So the flash was, to me, the dumbest thing you can do in like a blatant way. Because now you're just kind of saying, all right, I'm working with something. So my thing is I'm not saying look like a dude with nothing, because, why wouldn't you want to be a gentleman and, if you go out with a woman and y'all survive, half and half, or however you want to do it, just be a gentleman. But if you claiming rich, you getting all this money, you're going to pull that. It's like you're fishing for that. So I would just say, balance what you put out there, and, don't be afraid to, you go out with a female, talk that, you're going to pay for this one, you got this one, open up those doors of a mid-ground.
Because they want equality, right?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, because if you were to just, I tell dudes, if you want to sign up for that, you can sign up for that. Yeah. But I don't think you have to, unless you are willing to deal with that. And I don't think they all want that either. But sometimes dudes will be willing to just, all right, so they're going to take it. And now you jammed up. Don't get caught up with one who needs that. You fuck.
Yeah, it's the ones that really like bend over backwards for the girls that kind of ruin it for the rest of us that are really standing our ground.
I know a chick that said to me, he gave it, so I took it. And now she's stuck. It's almost like he converted, or they converting them into that. Oh, they spending it. You know what I mean?
What we're talking about, there's actually some examples that from songs you wrote like 20 years ago that is more relevant today than they were then. Mm. So we're gonna kind of circle back, but I wanted to tap into the whole Pigeon thing, because I grew up in the suburbs in New Jersey, and I think Pigeon I think I know what it means, but, we come from different places, so I want to get your definition of how you would describe, how you would define what specifically a pigeon is, because you had a major song called No Pigeons, and it's, mainstream, major success with that. So let's break that down, and we'll talk about how 20 years later, it's more relevant today than it was back then.
Well, if you look at the concept of just the bird itself, and specifically the pigeon, think of it as a New York City subway. Think about the subway and the little outside, not obviously inside, even though they live in the subway probably too, but we talking about, let's say, the edges of the side of the gates by the stores around this. Think of it like that.
The most pigeons I see in New York are in Herald Square, too, around the subway. Yeah.
Right. So you look at that bird as a dirty bird, right? But the concept is flying all over the place is the bird. But it's all type of birds. You got beautiful birds. You got what's the bird that has the beautiful colors? What's that called? With the
peacock.
Peacock. You got swans. You got ducks, doves. But that one bird, the pigeon, is the one on the street level.
Mm-hmm.
The one that, not all of them, but I specifically say the New York ones, that they grabbing bread. You drop that bread in the garbage, they coming to get that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the dirtiest bird. You don't even want to touch them.
Is it another way to say hood rat, or is it different?
It's a sense, but to me, hood rat is kind of worse. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to come clean. I think that word is a little raw. Like a hood rat is like on the under. That's like a different rat. You ever saw a hood rat before? Them big-ass, dirty-ass rats in the bottom of the
I saw that
the sewer type. It's sort of the same thing as a subway rat.
You see that rat that was carrying a pizza downstairs?
Right. That's like a lower level. But a pigeon is more like a slick, because you got to love a pigeon too. Because pigeons are used for sending messages. They fly all over the place. So the concept of a pigeon is just like this bird, this dirty bird. Not all of them. We just kind of paraphrased it. It flies all around chasing bread. So if you just simply look at it like that, and she's gangster, well, the bird is gangster. So that's the concept of it. Because you gotta respect the hustle. So we're not just saying, they all just bad, because, at the end of the day, it's a thing. But the concept of it comes from this dirty bird that don't give a F, and she's coming to get that bread. And she's hard. And she's gonna be right everywhere. She's everywhere. You go around, and then you can't run from them. They're there.
They're there. Like when
shitting on your car, they shitting on you too.
Oh, yeah. If you park in the wrong spot under like the overpass.
They shitting on you.
Or the underpass, I forget what. Your car is going to be covered.
And it's almost purposeful, too. It's almost like, if don't let this shit be clean, they are going to your car because they know this ain't no shit on it.
I think they do that on purpose sometimes.
That's factual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's just specific to that bird, but, you know what I mean? So stay away from the...
When you're dealing with a woman, when you're conversing with a woman, getting to know someone, what are they blatantly obvious signs, or sometimes you find out much later? Like what would be the signs, like the obvious ones, that a woman is a quote unquote pigeon?
I think it's just and I'm gonna revert for a second and say that you got some men who got pigeon tendencies too. So it's not specified to women. We just kind of put it like that.
Yeah, we're definitely not saying like men are, all of them are great and...
Yeah, you got dudes that are fucking pigeons too. Can I curse on this show?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fucking pigeon men out there. So
yeah, a lot of scumbags too, so...
I want to clarify that. So, traits, yes. Traits will be, I'm going to tell you a trait of a pigeon to me. Horrible trait of a pigeon. It's almost like you got your kids with your grandma all day and you living like it's nothing. You out here just chasing the game, chasing the streets, but you ain't taking care of priorities. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a low level type of shit. It's grimy shit. You do grimy shit. You met some dudes and you scheming on the dudes with an intention to destroy. Your goal is, I'm going to get that bread. This kind of, like, you doing dirty shit.
And her kids are left at home without dinner or something because she's out doing her thing.
Right. It's almost like you forgot that was your responsibility. You literally, because your mind is so warped up into what you into, whether it's liquors and all that bullshit. You chasing the clubs. You chasing that thing. You know what I'm saying? Low level shit. You know what I'm saying? And the tendencies of just like somebody who just got like, maybe not that harsh, is like the gold diggers. If you running out there again, purposely chasing dudes some money, and that's just so goal. I'm going to the club just to get some free drinks. That's a fucking pigeon tendency. Just solely for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You chasing.
So I had a friend that I belonged to the same gym as her. And she told me that she overheard this young woman at the gym talking to some guy, and he was I don't know if he was like asking her out or if he was trying to flirt with her, and she told him that if she's going to go out to have a drink with a guy or dinner or something like that, that the guy also has to pay her for her time.
See? This is the direction I'm talking about.
That's that's borderline. Well, that's escort, borderline prostitution. But it's at least an escort, but it would also be considered under the a pigeon mentality.
Again, we talking about just the categories of, it's a trait. So it's almost like you can have that tendency, but that's not who you are as a whole too. Where you just do pigeon shit. That's some pigeon shit. You know what I'm saying? And shorty's just on it like that. Or you could just be full blown, where you just, that's how you live. So I think everybody it comes with, not everybody, but you know, sometimes you could have a trait that just throws you off. Oh, she got that shit in her right there. That's some pigeon shit she just did. You know what I'm saying? So it could come across too. So like, was it adjective?
Now, with the success of No Pigeons, I feel like you tapped in to something that men have been feeling for a while with this song. That's why it became so popular, because so many men felt the same, but didn't say it, right? Let alone make a record about it over like popular, you know, TLC remix. Did you get any sort of backlash for it? Or did you get mostly kind of like praise from men, or maybe the success was overshadowed by any backlash because women were just, you know, wanted to get to know you because now you had success? Or was it a mix? Kind of what was that like? It's
crazy. I tell everybody that contrary, like if people really did the math and really look at it and step back, the success of Pigeons came from the women. The men praised it, obviously, because we favored, we was talking, but they were the ones who made that song win. And it's because we was just telling this straight, honest truth. Every woman who walked up to me, looked me in my eye, sang the song and said, "Kirk, you a crazy motherfucker," said, you talking about this bitch right here. Or I remember I used to do that stupid shit. Y'all foul for saying that, but I love it because I play for my sister who's a da-da-da-da-da, or my da-da-da. And you realize it's just like we just encapsulated a mode. Because think about it, Scrubs, there is a scrub. You know what I'm saying? I still don't like the name, but I got to respect it, that they're coming from a place where there's a dude who's living like that. Bottom of the barrel. So that thing we encapsulated, I guess, was just so perfect to them that they embraced it because, again, they understood what we were saying. And we was just being honest. So what happened, obviously we added humor because I still say those traits that we kind of described, that's not just, you know what I'm saying? Come on, like if you got more than one baby, like I still laugh at that, like, come on, like we grown now too. Just because you got two baby fathers, like that's not, you know what I mean? Like ladies, come on, be realistic. Just say we having fun with that. But I just say that it was an overwhelming. If I said from 1 to 100, 85% was women in front of the stage when we performed. Women. I could put the microphone down there and give them the mic. They're singing it. The dudes is, but the ladies.
That's wild.
And I used to sit there sometime and be like, okay. And that, again, back to what I said, we was talking about originally about the good guy, bad guy thing. It's now at that point, these guys are defending that. They're giving me that bad guy shit that they know. You understand? Like, they're being bad guys loud. And I love that shit because it's real. And you start realizing, oh, real shit works. So to answer your question, yes, it was, I'm talking about you couldn't even put it on a scale.
You didn't get backlash. Because nowadays there'd be like a rise to try to like get you canceled and stuff like that. But like, that's wild. Like it was all love. Like even like all the women just
all the women
praised it.
They had fun with it. They was the ones who came to the cast. And I just saw a female the other day that said she came to the video shoot to be a part. And I was scared, like, what did I do? And she was like, no. You told me I was too cute. Don't be in the video because you didn't want me to look like a pigeon. But she came to the video to be as a role, to play a role. But you understand? You see what I'm saying? It wasn't hard. They was there. We was just picking them like, damn, why y'all all at this video to be to represent this image? They just want to have fun because they got it. You understand what I'm saying? So I just say that to say that it was women that made that record. It was not us. We supported it. But especially at the time when women and kids buy records more.
But also you could have had, and let me know if this is true, women that recognize the difference between a woman and a pigeon, right? They could.
I think because they all did, though. So they automatically knew what we were saying, especially what we was defending. Because again, it's your honor you defending. You calling me a scrub for a trait, and I'm calling you a pigeon for a trait. So we get it. It's not that we just came out saying they all like that. Because at the end of the day, come on, we wasn't born, we came out of woman. So they know we got mothers, we got sisters, they respect that. It was just more of like a phrase. If anything, the only flack we got was from this old school cat that said, when y'all get in your 40s, I forgot his name. I think his name is Muhammad. He was a underground brother at the time. And he said, yo, y'all gonna feel it when y'all get older. What y'all did. I'm like, what is he talking about? And I'm not gonna lie, at certain points you go, damn, I see what he was saying. I don't feel anything negative, but I do know that the game changed. So now that song could come across as cruel. But at the time, I remind people, Snoop Dogg, shout out to Snoop Dogg, but his shit was hard. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. And that was loved. It ain't no fun if the homies.
Yeah.
So that was just the sentiment of the people understood what we were saying. So again, it's like Pigeons was just part of that era. And at that time, it didn't mean nothing. It was just a word. I think more now it's a little bit more, if derogatory is a word to a lot of people.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Snoop because he was interviewed, I don't know how long ago, it might have been just a few years ago, and it was a woman interviewing him, and she said, do you feel bad about the lyrics that you wrote about women back in the day, because of where you are now, or just do you feel bad about it? And he was like, fuck no. He's like, fuck them hoes.
Right, because it's a specific type of zone. Like, you can't take away back what was there, especially if you look at the time, let's say Scrubs. Let's just go back to Scrubs for 1 second. When Flex called us, shout out to Funkmaster Flex once again, when he called us and told us this zone he saw that maybe we want to look into, he put the Scrubs record on for the first time. I said, I know that record. I got shitted on in front of a club by that same attitude. I'm like, it's a pleasure to do this song. I said, put us in the studio. I already had the name in my head. Mm-hmm. Because that's what I was calling her when she was disrespecting me. You scrub ass motherfucker. Like, word? Like, what's that? What is that? AKA in front of the club, I see this girl like your love. Thought she said thug, but she called me a scrub. Scrub? I'm like, what? What is that? So we was just defending our honor. So back to what you said originally about Snoop, is like, that's what we were saying. Fuck, bitch. Pigeon, get the fuck.
Yeah.
How dare you? Like, know what I mean? We was having fun.
You can't take the environment away from it all and what it was.
Yeah, I think a lot of the ones who got mad, think they might be holding on some tendencies. Something happened. They got some horror stories.
How soon after when No Scrubs hit the radio, were you guys like, we got to make something? We got to get into the studio and
Oh, it wasn't even like that. First of all, when that record was out, I'm not saying I didn't hear or understand what the magnitude of that record. We just got a call from our people saying Flex wanted to conversate with us. Funkmaster Flex. Okay. Shout out to Funkmaster Flex. We went to see Flex, and he presented the energy to us based off of Cheapskate. So I'm still not even, he's a DJ, so he knows what's going on the ground level. He saw something. So that Scrubs record, I guess he saw was huge. So I don't know what the time frame was. Maybe let's say it was a month. Well, let's say not even the peak, but TLC's record was out for a month, and he started seeing the rise. He just, damn, this Cheapskate shit goes with it. But if it was something that
he knew that would clash with your energy.
I guess so. He just said, yo, y'all, these, they might be the ones, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Which we obviously was. So when he brought it to us, it was more like, to me, a little bit after. And then when we did our version, which was just a freestyle, if you think about it, all it was a freestyle. It was like yin and yang. Like, that shit is like fucking marriage.
Yeah, shout out to Funkmaster Flex.
Absolutely.
Visionary for that one.
Absolutely. And shout out to DJ Rude, too, because DJ Rude was the dude who...
DJ Rude.
From Flex's record pool, did the first version of playing with the record.
Oh, man.
He brought it to Flex, and then it went from there.
Super dope.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to go into a couple of lyrics and just tie it into how it's relevant to the conversations that are happening today between men and women. So I have a few lyrics that I pulled from the Sporty Thievz song Independent Man, which I believe 2000, it was released on vinyl. So I'm just going to read some of these lyrics real quickly, and then I highlighted a few points that I want to relate. There's one thing worse than a chick saying, I just want cheddar. Uh-oh, that's a motherfucking child support letter. First she want her bills paid, now she independent. Sounds more like these chicks is inconsistent. So I want to stop there because independent, you're talking about independent women. That's a thing now where girls are like, I don't need a man. I can pay for my own things. But they also don't want to go half when you have dinner. So also for independent, around this time frame, Destiny's Child, well, yeah, this is what you're responding to. There are people that would claim that Destiny's Child song, Independent Woman, was really like the catalyst that sparked this like cultural movement for women to want to be independent and to want to like not need a man. And, I can do my own things. And they're doing the masculine things. So what you're responding to was really just like something that changed our culture with the Destiny's Child song, which now kind of here we are today. We're having this huge gap, this huge communication gap between what women say they want or what they actually want. And then there's, not really accepting the reality. So it's kind of crazy, but I'll move on. Say, sounds more like these chicks are inconsistent. These days, everybody want a male bash. I tell them real fast to kiss my male ass. Now that's really important because you're standing your ground, right? And we talked about having, this fairy tale that we're grown up to think that we need to do the nice things for the women and bend over backwards for what they want and, walk on eggshells for them to keep them happy because it's happy wife, happy life. And if you're the nice guy, then you're going to get rewarded. And, what's happening here is you're saying, oh, you want to talk down to us? Well, I'm not going to submit. Like, screw you. Like, I'm standing my own ground. And that's really powerful, right? That's a message, not used in these words, but it's a message that's directly being communicated to men today to say be yourself, own it. If they don't like something about it, then move on. So I thought that was really powerful. Then I think this is part of the chorus, because the clothes on my kid, I bought it. Everything in my crib, I bought it. The lawyer from my bid, I bought it. Then I skipped to, used to just say, get money, fuck a bitch. But that's also another important line because you're using it in more of a, I guess, slang terminology. But this is a powerful message that's being told to men today where it's be the best version of yourself. Don't focus on women. Don't chase women. Focus on being successful. Focus on building your wealth and growing and improving your health and fitness. So when you're at your core and your strongest and you're chasing money and excellence, then the women
it's going to come.
And that's what you're saying in this, in these 5 words.
Facts.
So you're saying something that's like a very big lesson right now, saying that 22 years ago.
Facts.
Which I think is really, really powerful.
Because at the end of the day, and let's recap a little bit with the whole independent men. This song was kind of done at a time where people don't know. We did a official remix with them for their record.
With Destiny's Child?
What was it called? It was the Independent Women remix, produced by Trackmasters. I want to say never came out. And this one, I don't know if we did it after or before, but this one was something that the streets wanted us to do. because obviously that was the move, and people again needed some assistance. They called us like we was Batman or Superman, like, yo, put something out. So we did that just out of humor. And to me, that was one of the things we just did for the underground mixtape called Sporty, Thievz at the time. But people gravitated to it.
Yeah, it's dope. And the last two lines I want to look at here. My life hard, man. All I got to do is flip. Chicks want a yard. All they got to do is strip.
Mm-hmm.
That's OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm. So, right. It's like it's timeless, right?
It's women making money selling their body. That's all it is. It's the same thing today. And then what I have here on the lyrics for Fuck I Look Like, I think.
Why you can't buy me a drink.
Yeah, I think the edited version is called What I Look Like, but what I couldn't find the year.
Oh man, that record got a history, but
before?
Yeah, that record goes way back.
90s.
That record is like fucking, yeah. That was the original record is my solo. That record is like deep history. It was just one of the most strongest things that never, we never really did a video for.
That's crazy. It's so relevant today still.
The young dudes and the young females tag me all day doing their version of that song right there.
Still
today, right now.
So there you have it. I mean, it's still relevant, and they either they're doing a parody of it or they think it's fun.
You know why? Because they're going through the same shit. There's always going to be an inadequate young boy who's getting shitted on. He just doesn't understand how the same story I just told you in his own way is going on right now. Everybody ain't out there getting money. There's more people, and it's people think this is just a hood shit. It's not just a hood. It's every race. Like you got dudes, they not there. They not, their verbal game, skill game is not there. Maybe their physical game, they not there. So they just trying to do it the normal way, and they getting shitted on. So when they hear shit like this, why you can't buy me a drink? They just got shitted on at a club, bought a chick a drink, and she walked off. That's never gonna change.
I've had that happen too. Because my opening line was like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And then I bought her a drink, and like I tried to talk to her, and she was kind of like, she wasn't rude, but like there was no conversation. So there wouldn't have been a conversation regardless. So I just wasted my time trying to buy this.
And what does that do to your soul? That crushes your soul, because three chicks down from that happening, you could have maybe met somebody who appreciated you. But now you can hold that and go, you know what? Fuck these bitches. You kind of internalize something. Now you mean it's, and ladies too, you got to understand when I talk, I'm just being real. I'm talking like barbershop talk, like y'all talking in salon. That's what you get to a point where you magnify this shit compounds. And you just express yourself.
And when you're young, you don't know what what's going to work, what doesn't work, and so you're just trying these things out, and then you just get frustrated. Then people can get spiteful from that. But I just want to go through this real quick. Why you can't buy me a drink, buy me a mink, pay for my link, pay for my rent, pay for my cab, at least go half. Throw me some cash, throw me some ass, fill my belly with shrimps and spaghetti. Take me to the telly, let me use your celly. Take me to the movies, take me to Bloomies. Buy me jewelry, buy me some coochie, buy me a coupe, feed me some fruits, buy me some suits, buy me some boots, pay for my cut, fuck when I want to fuck, lick me up, why don't you come pick me up? Why don't you meet me here and meet me there? Pay my fare, pay for my beer, pay my phone, pay for my loan, make me moan, take me home. I mean, all of these things that they still expecting a guy to do for them. Every single one of them. It's the whole verse. I couldn't cut any of them out.
Facts.
Right? It's buy me everything.
And guess what? This song right here is most loved by females once again.
That's wild.
This song right here. I got more songs tagged to me with females saying, see them lines you just said?
Yeah.
Females.
The whole verse.
Sending me that verse with passion, singing that to me.
Are they using your lyrics to say, to speak to the guys like that?
No. They're saying it to, that's the truth. That's some real shit you spitting. I respect it.
So it's the ones that recognize.
Because they understand the core of it. Because think about it. I think it's probably only realistically, I'm not saying let's say we put everybody to 100%. There's a 25 or 15, let's say 25% of women who are straight up gold diggers. Let's just say, I'm just talking. I don't know no stats.
Okay.
The rest of them are not. They got sense. They're more mind-taking things, but they're not solely out there to get everybody's money. So for, let's say, that 25%, they're singing to them. Like, yeah. Because chicks would tell you, that's a lot of women that would never, ever go in their pocket when I go out with them. Friends, family, acquaintances, they'll buy you a drink in a heartbeat because they know who they are. Yeah. But then there's another that's like, I would never buy a dude a drink. I would never. So that's who this is speaking to.
Yeah. I also want to say that, we see this stuff online. We see people talking about it. It's very popular in podcasts, in some of the just online media. But if I go out on the street, if I go out to the supermarket or, the bookstore or wherever, and I approach women, I think most of them that I approach are not going to have a mentality to this level. But it's
like taken from like gold digging, you saying, like being a gold digger, right?
I think it's a little bit more.
It's targeted. It's like it's
exaggerated.
Like a niche. Yeah, facts.
I mean, there definitely are women like this, but it's almost like the media where we see so much of it, like on a daily basis, that we think it's more prominent than it really is.
Or it could be this too. This is something to think about. Maybe we attracted to some of that shit because maybe they come with a lot of these traits that we want sexually and visually. So now we kind of get hit with that because we looking for something that's maybe poison to us. You understand what I'm saying? So it could be a lot of the joints that a lot of the men are chasing. Because again, sometimes we chase the ones that are maybe too high in that zone that we probably should be chasing. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a visual thing. And we lying to ourselves. And we putting ourselves in those positions, and those women might not be the ones for us. And then we inherit a lot of the frustration. So we might be looking at a lot of ones with those traits and then judging it based off that.
I think you Marlon, and Dubes did a great thing for the males in society, because this is something that gave us the confidence to be strong men.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And that's literally what so many bloggers and male driven kind of topics are focused around.
Right.
And you guys were doing that in getting that message out in your music, over 20 years ago. So that's pretty incredible. You have a new mixtape coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you doing, within the last few years, you were dropping these freestyles.
Yeah.
You had the Cream freestyle. Mm-hmm. And there was another one, I thought both of them were...
Never gonna stop.
Yeah, both of them super dope. So, how would you describe what the mixtape's about? Are you in a different place? Are you in a similar place, theme-wise?
Where I'm at now is based off what we're talking now. It's kind of strange that you say that because what I learned, and it's just, being in an old school setting where it's like, all right, what people perceive us to be in a magnified way is the dudes that disrespect the women. And when you look at what that means, or what that image is to the little ones, like my daughter, let's say, to me it don't sit well if I'm being called the dude that disrespects the women. That doesn't have a balance to me. Especially when my album, my history is deeper than that. Yeah, I made the songs. I stand on it. But it's like, damn, that's how it's worded? A friend of mine said this what changed everything. I was cutting his hair. So always a barber. Sporty, Thievz, King Kirk was a barber his whole life. Besides all of the stuff that I did, I always was in the chair. That saved my life, right? One of my clients said to me, with the straight face, I was describing you to one of my people and saying, yeah, my barber, King Kirk, Sporty, Thievz. And the dude said, who? He said, Sporty, Thievz. The dude that diss all the girls, diss all the women. And he's telling me the story, telling me how he was describing and I paused. I said, hold up, you said that? He said, whoa, did I say something wrong? I said, you described me as the person that dissed all of the girls? He said, Kirk, that's what your records. And at that one second, and he knows me on hip hop, like a hip hop level. But I'm like, it's that deep rooted that's the narrative. And I'm like, I get it. That's all that was painted. So nothing was wrong with what he was, spewing out as far as what he was, delivering with truth. But what bothered me was the fact that nobody knew the reality of my human. That means people just look at me as one type of individual, just a mean dude that's mad. And I said, oh, I get it. My other stance wasn't shown. A lot of things that we created over the years, people don't know we have a song called Lady Killers that saluted the women. We dropped that years ago. It didn't even make the album because I think the sentiment was, nah, we don't even want that type of vibe on the album because the energy was not, let's keep them over here. I'm not saying it was some conspiracy theory either, but that energy just wasn't there. And I didn't like the way that felt. So I said, oh, they don't know my grown man. And my last 5 years of spitting bars, I always started throwing my grown man in there, mixed with my straight raw truth. And people say, yo, Kirk, that shit is better than a lot of shit you used to spit because I didn't really know. The introspective stuff is what people were interested in. But my true introspect came from happened to be this shit. But my street cinematic stuff was sci-fi. So my introspective stuff only came out with this type of side of Kirk. And once in a while with the bars and the streets, on the freestyle. But the majority of my introspect was this part of my life, the male issues in the hood or my upbringing with the battle of the sexes thing that I always grew up with. My father was married 3 times. So that whole shit was always a little like, damn, what's going on, Dad? Like, you can't find the right, okay, maybe it's not meant to be. So I was always kind of spun in those circles. All my people was just broken homes. All of us broke, just here, over here, my mom over here. It's crazy. So my energy always was kind of like in that space. But not for 1 second I would think that people would gravitate to just that one side. So with the mixtape, let's go back. The mixtape I decided to throw out with a love to it, to just show a side of Kirk that's grown or a human. So it's called I Love You. And it's just a mixtape with old school beats. And I'm just spitting true shit. Some of it still goes into this type of humor, but for the majority, it's still just spitting love. So this is the first time where people will be able to hear me spit grown shit. When I say grown, even as young, grown conversations like I'm a human opposed to this bad guy up here that just salutes everything that the man does and the woman is wrong, because I think that's the way the music perceived me to be, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, they got to understand that you're responding to something.
But they didn't take it like that. They took it at, nah, this is what we do. Fuck them. Because think about it, if a man, like you said, been hurt for so long, getting shitted on, he finally has something to go, man, fuck you.
Mm-hmm. And then they forget about what they did to provoke you, and they just look at you like, oh, look at him, this brash,
right.
rude person, yeah.
And it could come across as like an ogre, like somebody that is dominating and just stepping on all the small, the innocent women. And it just didn't, look at it like that because you forget how it was used. A lot of women, when they was getting called pigeons, I'm not saying I could speak for all the men, but I know a lot of men probably just use that shit just to do it. Man, fuck you then, pigeon bitch. Maybe she was just, no, I'm not interested. And they just, oh, you one of these bitches. So I could see over the years how it compounded, but then y'all the ones who created that. Y'all gave them that ability to call us that. So with that being said, I met a few women that straight said to me, I'm intimidated by you. Just out of just meeting them.
Yeah, because they're creating a narrative in their head about what they want to believe.
I'm just intimidated because, you spit the truth and I don't know what you're going to say about me. I'm like, God damn. So you don't even know who I am.
Well, I'm glad I didn't introduce you as, our special guest today is dissing the fuck out of all y'all.
Right. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But you could take the song and do whatever you want with it, but at the end of the day, we're just having fun. You know what I'm saying?
So the mixtape, King Kirk, called I Love You.
Yes, sir.
When can people expect to see something? Where can they find it?
It's going to be the platforms are going to be a little tricky because I'm using a lot of beats that's just loops. Shout out to the brother Lord Finesse. I just found a few of his joints and I just flipped on them.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not nothing that we putting out retail.
Right.
So as long as it don't get flagged on YouTube, you'll be able to grab it on YouTube. It's not going to be probably nowhere else. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's for the people. It's an MP3 thing. You can hit me on the DM, I'll send you the MP3. It's just all fun, having fun. And if it goes to a certain level, maybe we want to go talk to the peoples and, talk about getting it cleared. But right now, it's just something to have fun. It's honestly a mixtape, summertime, shout out to Kid Capri, that type of vibe where it's just fun, old school 70s beats and bugging out. And a few bars, we're going to put some bar shit on there too. You know what I'm saying? Because people are asking me for these bars. And I maybe put one Street Cinema joint on there, maybe, because the mixtape might be never ending, and just add a little bonus going on, but we'll see. Big Dubes is gonna be on there. We didn't do his verse yet. He sent me this sugar dumpling beat he did over. I got a few possible surprises that it depends on what it does, because I really want it to be a summertime, even though it's cold. It feels summer. So I'm trying to see if I could stretch it. But we'll see on the feature side, because I might just want to keep this out there to, like I said, clean up that thing that I believe, that misconception is. It bothers me. I'm a grown man with daughters. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a thing where they need to hear me.
Yeah.
I don't care on what level. Just talk some man shit. Even though it's still gutter in a sense, because I'm going there too. But you hear who I am.
How does it feel to, write, record, and put together a project again? Because I think it's been a while.
Well, you know what? People ask that. I don't stop. Now, releasing is different. I can't, like this. I can't stop.
Always creating.
I can't. There's just no way I can pause that. I'll probably die. But releasing is a whole nother side, because then we talking about politics and we talking about now feeling like work. But releasing, throwing it out, I'm always feeding the people.
That's nothing to you.
That's nothing. Yeah. People DM me and we freestyle. Me and my brother, we do little songs here and there. It's just the politics people don't hit. That part is just a whole nother thing. I never care too much about you pushing it too far, because that's politics.
Yeah.
If it goes, it goes.
Well, if you have a good relationship with a couple good DJs, you'll be all right. You can minimize the headaches. And
shout out to R.I.P. K. Slay, man, because he was one of the ones that we could send that shit to. It's like K. Slay.
He's a good one. He's a real good one. Mm-hmm. That's a big loss.
Mm-hmm. R.I.P. my brother K. Slay. He was one of the ones trying to pull us out that old, like, yo, come on, fuck the politics, let's go. And he was like, trust me, it's crazy. He was one of the ones telling us to get off the other shit. I want you to spit this shit.
Oh, yeah?
What? Yeah, K. Slay wanted that raw shit that we brought to the table. He knew what it was. Like, a lot of people didn't know about that. They was just stuck in, like you said, the Pigeon world.
More of the street rap.
Yeah, he wanted that shit that we met him doing.
Because he knew what you guys could do.
And the misconception also, he's like, yo, people thinking it's one side. I know bars.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is.
Damn, man. R.I.P. K. Slay.
Yes. Shout out to Slay.
Look out for I Love You mixtape, King Kirk. I'll put the link in the video once they're available. And appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir, B.
Thank you for doing this.
We're
going to do another part. We're going to talk about some other topics, not Pigeon related, because we're multi-dimensional over here.
Absolutely. Street cinema, that don't get it twisted. It ain't going nowhere.
As you can see, the artwork, we've got Aaliyah over there. We've got Marlon here. So there's a whole other side on the...
Bob right here.
Bob Marley.
This is not no AI. This is all art, hand art.
Yeah,
no disrespect to AI.
We're going to talk about the art next time. And, like, subscribe, leave some comments, what you liked here, what you want to see more of. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Peace.